The new set, Wisdom of Sea and Sky, has been out for less than 24 hours, but we've already seen some big tournament results. So let's take a look at what's doing well straight out the gate. Hey, I'm Andy, I make videos about the competitive scene in Pokemon TCG Pocket. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like, maybe a cheeky sub. Let's get into it. First, we're going to look at the GOD tournament, which was 180 players. Okay, surprising nobody, Dark Tina is still good. The top two players for this tournament were both running Dark Tina. So this is the deck run by Marinara Man. Pretty much the same as it's always been, with the added exception of Silver now. So Silver, and specifically Silver Red card, can give you a disgusting combo, so it's just really good tech to limit their opponent's hand. Not too much else to say apart from Dark Tina is still good. Okay, one of the other top fours was Silverly Oricorio Pichu, which seems to do really well. Again, Silver's starting to show up, and the main addition here is you've got Pichu. So Pichu just gives you the energy to accelerate to Oricorio or Silverly. This is really dangerous if you go first, because you can ramp the Silverly with Pichu, and so when you get your first energy you can come straight out with Silverly and do 100 damage potentially. So another solid Silverly list. Silverly also is not going anywhere. So Crobat AX seems like one of the better cards from this new set. So straight away we're starting to see Sylveon, Darkrai, Crobat combination. Also in this case, one Umbreon EX. Personally, I can see the benefit of Umbreon because it gives you an alternative to maybe come out early with Darkness Fang for 80. I don't think you want to run more than one because you want to keep your options open for the Sylveon, and also you've got Crobat and Darkrai as well. Seems solid. Also, so Dark Pendant seems like a good card. However, I feel like the deck, 20 card decks, things are very tight. And Giant Cape is going to give you the edge in a mirror match, because a Crobat will do 70, 80 with the Poison Tick, 90 if you stay in. So if we assume that, that's 90 damage a turn, you delete a Crobat in 2 turns. However, if you have Giant Cape, it's going to take a little bit more to knock you out, and that might make the difference in the mirror. So as good as Dark Pendant is, I think probably healing cards are a better option. Okay, next, unsurprisingly, Buzzwole is still good. It's pretty much the exact same deck. There's no new cards in this one. Obviously, if Crobat is a menace and fighting comes out, especially fighting that's weak to grass, comes out to fight it, Buzzwole is going to enjoy that because Kartana will just rip open. Like, so Fanfi is like either 60 or 70, so Kartana will take care of that. So another deck that was good last season that's seen a few changes. So Arceus EX with Zerazora, Oricorio, and Tapu Koko. So obviously again, Silver shows up. Guzma. In this case, I'm assuming they've just binned off that what all the kind of these kind of decks will be doing is getting rid of Dawn for the elemental switch, because it means you haven't got to worry about doubling up on supporters. Okay, not something I expected to see, but we're probably going to see combinations of this going forwards, is the Psychic Espeon Sylveon. So Espeon isn't the best, but still 2 for 80 is pretty good. The healing can be clutch. Sylveon is great, and then you've got the non-EX Sylveon for Evo Harmony. So potentially doing 130 if you have a bench full of evolutions. And of course, somebody was trying to make Ho-Ho Lugia work. So in this case, you've got Magby and Pichu. So you've got 2 opportunities to start with either of these. They fire over the energy over to Ho-Ho. And you've got double elemental switch as well, which is quite nice. Zerazora is obviously a great choice for this deck because it gives you the potential to have, turn 1, you can get the energy from Crackly Toss. Zerazora can give you a free energy. I guess the combo is with the double elemental switches. It seems tricky to pull off, but there is a potential for turn 1, you play a Pichu and a Zerazora. So that's 2 energy there. Ho-Oh comes out, and then you elemental switch the 2 energy, at least 1 of the energy across, and you can swing on your first energy, which is pretty nuts. Okay, also in the top 4 of this tournament, we had the Donfan EX Rampardos. I really want to try this deck out, but unfortunately, I'm cursed at the moment to only have 1 Donphan. So the main thing about this deck is, because you're running fossils, you're guaranteed the fan fee. They've chosen for the other fan fee. I think the other one is 70 and then 30, but you take 10. Kind of understandable, maybe you don't want to take damage to yourself. Donphan EX is really good, especially with all the Crobats about. And then Rampardos is your sort of big damage dealer finisher. Also in this deck, because everything is like minimum 2 retreat cost, you've got Lyra to bring stuff back to the bench. Sort of a red card for just being annoying. It seems solid. I think the main weakness is, as always, we don't have a way to hunt for fossils, so you can sort of live, the deck sort of lives or dies based on can you draw into the Rampardos. Okay, next we have, it's not quite finished yet, it's going into day 2 later on, but this is the Magma Cup, which had 308 players. We can't not talk about the 7-0 Dragonite EX deck. So obviously the new tech it's using is double Pichu for early energy ramping, Zeraora as well for the electric, and an elemental switch for passing over the energy to the Dragonite. You then also got Cleffa because you can fetch, hopefully fetch the other parts using the Twinkly Call. Lyra is basically replacing, I mean, they've also got Old Amber, because the idea is you swing with Dragonite, retreat it somehow, and then into a fossil, and then you just discard the fossil to bring him back, and that resets the no attack. So now you can also do that with Lyra without spending any energy on retreat, which is nice. So again, another Sylveon Espeon deck making the top cut, so definitely something to look at. So Crobat Arceus was already knocking about, but now we're starting to see it's kind of a weird mix of Crobat EX and the non-EX. So with Arceus you can hit the bench, hit the active slot for 30. So there's potential to do a lot of horrendous damage, and also you've got Arceus to build up in the back as well. Okay, so we've got another Donphan deck in the top cut as well. This one is using the new Fanfi, and then also Lucario and Tyrogue. So I'm ever so slowly coming around to babies being useful, because free damage turn 1 is like 40 damage over the first 2 turns. Yes, you're giving up a point, but also when you're hitting into weakness as well, it's a big deal. But the main difference, also with Lucario out as well, this does 40, and also you've got Lucario's there to give buffs to suddenly Gigantic Press is doing 70 or maybe 130, which is a big number. Hiker, I do not know why you are here. Like, I think Hiker could just be something else. Also, Cape seems like a solid choice now with babies. So that's a look at what's been doing well in the first 24 hours of the new set. If there's anything else you think looks good, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, maybe give me a like, cheeky sub, and I'll see you in the next one, yeah?